I'm making this video for one reason and one reason only. I love debates. I love being challenged and challenging other people. I love exchanging ideas. I love intense conversations. Why? Because I love learning from people who are different from me, who disagree. Like, it's really cool and it's really fun. I love debates, but they're not fun if people aren't following some few simple rules. Like, and I've been noticing some things, and so I want to make this video to give 3 simple rules to follow while you're having these debates in the midst of this crisis, in the midst of these tensions. Please, 3 simple rules to make your conversations more productive. This applies to you wherever you are, whether you're black, white, Republican, Democrat, wherever you are, whatever, this applies to you, okay? So, number 1, recognize that everyone has a spectrum. Whatever group of people you are looking at, there is a spectrum. So black people, let me talk to you for a second. Not all white people are racist, okay? Some of them are, some of them are not. There's a spectrum. Even within racism, there's a spectrum. You have the KKK level racism, then you have the I'm not racist because my best friend is black level racism. Like, there's a spectrum. They're not all the same. White people, not all black people are violent criminals. Some of us are. Some of us are not. Okay, there's a spectrum. Even within the violent section, according to your statistics that you like to quote, most black people are not killing white people, they're killing each other. So you have the violent black person who's killing white people, but then you have the violent black person that's killing other black people. There's a spectrum within the spectrum. So the point is, number 1, recognize that everyone is part of a spectrum. Don't put everyone in the same boat. Number 2, acknowledge what slice of the spectrum you're addressing. So for example, let me pick on black people for a second, okay? So if you have a problem with Trump, then address the problem you have with Trump. Don't blanket that on all other white people, or don't assume that even all other Republicans are like that. You have a problem with Trump, address Trump. You have a problem with one particular slice of the spectrum, address that and acknowledge that this is the slice I'm addressing, this is the slice I got a problem with. Don't assume that the whole rest of the group thinks that way. White people, let me talk to you, or some of you, again, not all of you, because there's a spectrum. So some of you have seen that in the black community, there has been responses including rioting and looting and burning down stores and throwing rocks and things like that. And rightfully so, you have pointed out, this is not the way to go, this is wrong, this is illegal, how does this solve anything? Now, here's the problem. You have fixated on that and ignored the rest of us who are not looting, who are not rioting, who are not burning down houses and stuff like that. And you fixated on this and applied it to the rest of the group. Because, newsflash, some of us are sitting here and we're like, that's not the way to go. That's embarrassing. You're making us all look bad, okay? Because the point is, address the slice of the spectrum that you have a problem with without blanketing it, applying it to the rest of the group. So number 1, recognize that everyone is part of a spectrum. Number 2, acknowledge what slice of that spectrum you're addressing. And number 3, it's my favorite one. Number 3, find something you have in common with the other side. We seem to have this idea that, like, if I have a position, anyone who doesn't have that position is completely wrong. Here's a newsflash. Nobody is completely 100% evil. Nobody out here is just a walking essence of falsehood. Even Trump has really good things in him. Nobody is 100% wrong about everything. You can learn from people that you disagree with, okay? So one of the things I like to do, they have stuff that Candace Owen has said that I think was fire. Like, I'm like, yo, I got you. Like, that point right there, that was good. I got you, bro. I'm gonna write that down. Ben Shapiro said stuff like, yo, that thing was on point. Like, I'm here with you. Even Trump, I've seen him do things like, yo, that's good. That right there, my guy, have to be able to find things that we actually respect and have in common. And none of this like oh yeah, I agree that, you know, George Floyd shouldn't have died, but look at this. Like, no, acknowledge, yo, that was good. It's like basketball, yo, that was a nice move, bro. You got me. That in and out right there, you got me. That was good. Acknowledge what you have in common with the other side. Okay, so number 1, everyone is on a spectrum. Number 2, acknowledge what slice of the spectrum you're addressing. And 3, find something you have in common with the other side. And when you follow these 3 rules, I bet you that is where you will finally be able to learn something and have productive conversations. That's it.